Wham! Talk 1600. You're catching the drift. Conservative talk. Intelligent conversations on local, state, and national issues with Gary Wellings, chief editor of the Current newspaper and Current Online. Join in the conversation at 734-822-1600. And now, your host, Gary Wellings.
Hey, and good Saturday afternoon. Thanks for tuning in to catch our drift. Joining me in studio, the irredeemable Ipsy Ed Bonderenka.
I'm speechless. Oh no, I said something. Wow. Hi.
Deplorable?
Yes, the deplorable Ed Bonderenka. Thank you.
The dregs?
One of the basket. Yes, a dreg. A proud dreg.
All right. Well, welcome to the Drift, and what we do on the Drift every Saturday is go over the news that we put on the dailydrift.com. It's
the news you need to know.
There you go. So look at the dailydrift.com, and you can get a free subscription emailed right to your inbox, so you don't have to go looking for it every day.
Free?
Free, man. Just go in, type in your email. I don't track your emails. I don't know how, so there you go.
Don't worry, Yahoo does it. Google does it.
Yeah, everyone else is doing it. I don't do it because I don't know how, and I wouldn't anyway. So it's like I'm not busy enough. I need to track somebody's email. No, I don't. But let's take care of a little business. Whitmore Lake Golf Links. It's on 6 Mile Road in Whitmore Lake, just off of 23. Easy to get to. Great. It is a really nice golf course. The back nine, very tough. Very tough. So you skilled golfers, if you're looking for a challenge, Whitmore Lake Links. Yeah, Links of Whitmore Lakes. They got food. They got a bar there. They got everything you need. In the Current newspaper, they have a $5 off any regular greens fees with this coupon that expires at the end of the month, so make sure you check it out. You can also upgrade to a range ball basket with the coupon, so go from a small to a medium or a medium to a large. Mm-hmm. Right? And you can reach them at 734-449-GOLF. That's 734-449-GOLF. Get out there and golf while we have a little time left. It's still nice probably for another 30 to 60 days, maybe, if we get lucky, right?
Yeah.
They have a great clubhouse, some weddings and events. If you want to do something there, it's a great place. Mm-hmm. It really is. It's a really nice venue. I like it. And the food's always been decent. They pour a mean drink. It's a good place. 734-449-GOLF. Okay, so before we get to
mean drink, what does a drink do? Is it like slap you in the face? How is a mean drink?
It slaps the tongue right out of your mouth. They do. They pour a good drink there. So before we get to the Kavanaugh, because I know we're all ready to vent. I'm ready to vent. I know that. We're going to talk with Jeff Jones, who is running for 12th District Congress, congressional seat here in Michigan. And let's bring him on. Jeff, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks, Gary. Thanks for having me on.
Okay, so
good to be on it.
Yeah, well, always welcome. I love to get a good conservative in here, and you are running in a very, very tough seat. We would love to see you win because you're going to beat your opponent, who is. Go ahead and tell us.
I'm sorry, you completely blocked out on my phone, so I'm assuming that you asked me something about it.
You're running against Debbie Dingell, and I would love to see that dynasty of the Dingells finally go away.
Well, certainly we have a direct plan of attack. We did kind of inherit the data foundation as well that helped Trump to win. So we have people. We know exactly who we have to talk to. A lot of people don't understand this. The 12th is different than any other district in Michigan because of its disparity, probably of being 70% supposedly Democrat and 30% Republican. So if you run a straight understanding of traditional Republican idealism, or at least the verbiage of it, then you can expect the last results of the 82 years, and not in regards to you can say things differently and maintain your conservative position. And so that's really what I've done in 2016. We received almost 100,000 votes. 35% of those votes came from independents and Democrats because they want the truth. They just need to hear it in different ways. And
is that reflected? Is that reflected in the way that your 12 for the 12th is worded?
Exactly right. Yeah. So we try to make a bridge that people can follow, and maybe, I guess to me again, I put education as a number one issue, because if we understand what's going on for the last 100 years, it's been about decaying our society, decaying our Constitution, and decaying community and an enslavement versus empowerment. And so even though I'm, sometimes that word empowerment frightens a lot of people and new ageisms and things of that nature, but it's still the bottom line. You either are strengthened and supported or you're made a piece of bait. And that's really what's happened to all the communities. If you look around that have been subject to liberal influences, they've just decayed. They certainly have not been strengthened. They're not any different after 50 years of being fed, by a spoon and gimmies. It just collapses it and decays it and discourages it. It becomes, like I said, almost a cancer to our communities. And so if we could change the way we educate, we could influence the long march. Right. For better things.
Yeah. So we're talking with Jeff Jones, who's running for the 12th District Congressional seat, which is downriver, basically.
Well, it's downriver and Ann Arbor and Ypsi Township. And it's quite a gerrymander. Yeah.
So it's kind of tough when you get out this way to do anything as a Republican. But I can tell you, I grew up downriver, folks, and I'm an old downriver guy. I've been spending a little time down there recently, and you know what? The Democrats have not done anything for you. They have not. I grew up downriver. I've seen it come and fall apart in the last few years. I have been down there, and now I'm seeing a couple spots that seem to be coming back.
That's the Trump economy.
In the Trump economy. But for crying out loud, downriver folk, vote for a Republican. Vote for Jeff Jones. What have you got to lose?
Where have I heard that before?
Exactly. Vote for Jeff Jones, folks. I'm just. We don't do straight ticket. I was just thinking the other day. Yeah. For the first time in my life, I'm going to go straight ticket Republican, but we can't do it now. We finally get
rid of the straight ticket. It just takes some effort on your behalf.
Yes. Yeah.
So Jeff, I guess the biggest thing you've got going for you in my book is, and I'll be honest with you, I read that 12 for 12th, and it's a little bit, in some degrees, scary because of the verbiage in it. And yet I know that you're a constitutional conservative, so that's marketing on your part?
Yes, exactly right. Again, so, there are things that still, I could probably run my entire campaign on two issues. I just don't think the world's ready for it. That is, love your neighbor as yourself, and the love of money is the root of all evil. But I don't know if the world's ready for that after 2,000 years of hearing it. But certainly, the truth still exists that people are going to. We have a great diversity of people, certainly in the 12th district, and they need to be heard. But they also need to be. Someone taught me the definition of a very valuable word, and the word was persuasiveness. And I probably always looked at the word of persuasiveness as something ugly, something manipulating, something cunning and deceitful. But the guy that gave me the definition said that persuasiveness is guiding vital truths around other people's mental roadblocks. And so when people, we've been so influenced by the world around us and by, well, again, John Dewey said, give me 75 years and I'll make America a communist, country. And so these have been part of the progressiveness of what they call progressiveness. And to me, it's kind of a silly word because it really does exactly the opposite, just like Antifa is the strongest fascist organization in America today. To be called Antifa. Mm-hmm. These are the oxymorons of society. So we've got to get past those, the things that divide us and focus on the things that unite us, and I believe our Constitution does that. It's just that a lot of people don't understand the process of our Constitution. They, the 14th Amendment is what kind of compelled me to get started in run in politics, and the violation of it, and there's so many issues to be settled by it if we actually tore it apart.
Okay, so let me run through some questions here so that people who are listening can get a view of where you're at. On immigration, what's your stand, real quick?
Well, certainly America was built on immigration. There's a big difference between immigration and illegal immigration. And illegal immigration will do nothing but destroy our economy, destroy our education, and manipulate a system that was not designed for the way it's being abused today.
Okay, so you'll support Trump in stopping illegal immigration. You will support building a wall.
Yes.
You will support reducing the amount of legal immigration we have going into the country right now.
Yeah, again, it's now at the point where my biggest problem with immigration today, or illegal immigration today, is that we have about 14 congressional districts on a national basis that represent no U.S. citizens.
Yeah.
People don't maybe understand that.
Yeah.
But there's roughly 14 to 16 million immigrants, illegal immigrants here, let alone other people that have no respect of our Constitution and no appetite to.
Yeah. Well, there was a study that came out just this last week that said, you know what, we think there might be as many as 29 million illegal immigrants in the country. So, do you think 5 million of them probably voted? I'm betting they did. And there's your 5 million that Hillary Clinton keeps talking about the popular vote.
Absolutely. Again, when California does what they do and New York does what they do, again, it's a great disparity. It's a violation of our constitutional rights as U.S. citizens.
Yeah.
And for all those people that went through legal immigration to become a citizen, it's a spit in the eye to them, and most of them will express it the same way, no matter where they're from. Feel that illegal immigration is a great violation of.
Jeff, you're pro term limits. You're running for a 2-year term. What do you see as viable term limits, and would you step down after how many terms?
Well, one of my hopeful issues to bring up is the fact that I think 2 years is a little bit ridiculous in today's age of accomplishing, because as soon as I get elected, I have to start on my campaign for 2020, which again is silly.
That's a constitutional issue.
Yeah, and so on a constitutional issue, I would love to see the term go to six years and limit it to 2 terms, which to me, again, you serve for 12 years, and if you decide to go on to the Senate and serve for another 12 years, that would be very reasonable. You serve 20, 40 years your country, and by that time, a whole new generation has been raised, so let the other generation do the rule. Yeah. And so that would be a push that I would support, but certainly, if I can't accomplish what I need to in that time frame, 6 to 12 years, then it's time to step out and let somebody else do what needs to be done.
Right. So, Jeff, we've got a question from Russ in Ann Arbor. Derek, can you bring Russ on and let him ask his question?
Hey, Jeff. Are we there? I heard a buzz.
Yeah, you're good. Go ahead.
Oh, good. Okay. My biggest thing, and I'm so glad you're on the radio, is, we got 84 years of dingle. I mean,
yeah.
Oh, holy, say that, insert bad word there. I mean, and, the yard signs ought to say, end the dingle dynasty. 84 years is enough.
Yeah.
We've had so many people give us suggestions on how to, that someone told me about bringing out like a 1932 Ford or something somewhere, parking it and saying, this is what happened. This is what people drove when John Dingell Sr., took office.
Yeah.
And so these certainly, again, the problem is that, Debbie very rarely even introduces any new plans whatsoever. She takes out stuff that failed for John and John Sr. and tries to reintroduce them. That's all they do. So you don't get current event support for things outside of, continuing things like, giving our the greatest terror organization in the world, the country of Iran, nuclear weapon capability. It's just moronic. I mean, just beyond our community. Debbie's words are, we don't have to ask who's there when someone knocks at our door, children. Just let them in.
Yeah.
Wasn't a politician? I'm sorry. Wasn't John Dingell the father of Obamacare? Didn't he get credit for that?
John Dingell Sr. really was, and John Jr. brought it, kind of kept it alive. It had been a visionary of their family for a long time. Universal health care. What people don't understand is what universal health care is all about, and that is really, it is not about affordable health care for individuals. It's about the government taking over reserve dollars, and they flushed out 1,500 companies basically overnight when the Frank Dodd Act moved things forward, and the ACA then enforced it to have 80 cents on the dollar in reserve money. So that is how people borrow money. They borrow money. Banks borrow money because of reserve dollars set aside through the insurance industry. So if you can collapse the insurance industry, you can access those reserve dollars and cover up the lies that have been scamming America for the last 40 years.
Yeah. Well, thanks for the call, Russ. Appreciate it, you calling in on that. And so,
love that insight, though.
Yeah. So Jeff, what's your website? What can we send people to look you up, see where you sit on the issues, and maybe make a donation for you?
Sure. Jeff Jones, the number 4congress.com is the easiest way to do it. It's simple. Jeff Jones, number 4congress.com.
Okay.
If you click on the /take action, or you just go to the website, you'll see opportunities to participate, whether online or mail us in a check or get involved in an event.
Okay.
And
you're on Facebook.
Yeah, a lot to do.